Broadcasting from around the stars, this is Fatherhood News Update. Good evening. Our top stories tonight. The suffering of Manamaya. Terror in the OASIS. Worker safety or profit? Two sides on the brink of war over this question. We start our broadcast today with the heartbreaking news that the Manamaya rats have officially declared a famine state. This native faction of the Manamaya star system do not wield a lot of power. Cycles of lack of investment and war left several of its citizens making a real tough decision. Our reporter Kate Starr brings us this report from the Manamaya star system.
Traveling among the stars was a dream for many of our ancestors, the hope to explore and reach a place that is better than where they had lived. But for one faction this is not the case. The stars these days only offer suffering and death. This arid land mass is where victims of the Manamaya famine now rest. This land is their final resting place. Each rock is the headstone of those that perished in incubators, or the mothers and fathers that made the ultimate sacrifice for their family. These rocks alone are the only thing that marks their grave, a stark contrast from the golden sculptures that the Manamaya noblemen place for their dead. Hundreds are dying, and thousands of birth incubators quickly running out of food cartridges. Every single death is a tragedy. And why is this happening? The famine is forcing mothers and fathers to make the choice between taking their ration allocation or transferring it to their unborn children. A choice that will only cause tragedy. But this famine didn't come because of a natural disaster. This was man-made. The Manamaya noblemen have long seen the rats as a pest to the system. Now, a fundamental sub-faction within the noblemen, calling themselves the Pest Control, have been raiding supply lines of the rats and setting up ambush for the rats' unshielded Type 6s. PC, as they are known in Manamaya, are in control of 90% of the trade routes used by the rats, attacking any transport ship that enters these sectors. As we make our way to Hertzfeld Depot, the central distributions facility for the rats, to meet with the leader of the rats, we get word that the depot has fallen to PC and we have to escape. Turrets and skimmers controlled by PC fire at us. Our SRVs move quickly to escape to make it back to our ship. When we reach safety, a communication from the rats states that a high-ranking member of the council wishes to speak to us. Outside this covert medical center, a dolphin approaches us, and to our surprise the leader of the rats, Inky, the new alpha for the Manamaya rats after overthrowing Percy in the Civil War, boards our ship. Inky is a man of few words, however he is clear what has to be done to combat the threat that the rats face from PC.
PC is not just an enemy of the rats, they are a threat to all the factions within this star system, and we are the first line of defense. If PC destroy the territory of the rats, this will be a powerful first step in their goal to take over the star system.
As unlikely as it is, the rats are beating back PC in Shuttleworth Terminal, and the commander leading this is a Fatherhood commander that returned to their native faction to help them overcome this threat.
Now that the Fatherhood news is here, we want all commanders to see that we can win against these fanatical and feudal terrorists. We need your support, not only with your donations and food supply, but your guns also. This fight is not just a rats fight, we must unite and overcome this great evil.
Help is on the way with food aid supply ships protected by the Fatherhood now in Manamaya, and commanders for all surrounding star system banding together to support this struggling and noble faction. Kate Starr, The Fatherhood News.
In related news, Emerald Grove Health Club, a luxury retreat within the Gertrude star system, today was attacked by unidentified commanders that forced the club to temporarily go into lockdown, and Fatherhood security forces were dispatched to deal with this threat. After a number of cycles, all terrorists were eliminated, choosing to self-destruct rather than capture. The Fatherhood News was sent this communication from the pest control, claiming they attacked this once tranquil and exclusive tourism attraction.
We never forgot. The rats' betrayal has gone on for too long, but this time we struck back. The Fatherhood support and exploitation of Manamaya must stop now, or we will continue to attack your safe and lavish retreats and strike with the hand of justice at those who oppose us. Our commanders are willing to die to quash this pest within our star system that corrupts our environment, with their overpopulation practices and lack of respect for their real and divine owners. The Fatherhood needs to remember their place, otherwise we will never stop. This is our home, and the Manamaya rats are the pests. For Manamaya. For the noblement. For justice for our forefathers.
This communication has yet to be verified by the Fatherhood intelligence, but a chilling warning if it's genuine. We reached out to the Fatherhood, and a spokesperson said the Fatherhood will not be bullied by terrorists and refused to comment on retaliation actions that may be coming. Finally, to Kalaga, where sources there indicate the talks between Kalaga Incorporated and the workers of Yaks Balam Alliance have stalled. The talks were meant to be a way to find resolution to the health and safety and pay dispute in Taylor Relay that is managed by the Kalaga Incorporated but owned by the workers of Yaks Balam Alliance. The workers are threatening to breach their contract with Kalaga Incorporated if they don't enact what they claim to be fundamental failings in the way Kalaga have managed Taylor Relay, with an increase of 30% fatality accident rate since Kalaga started to manage the relay, and a drop in dividend paid to the works due to lack of military actions in the star system. A spokesman for Kalaga Incorporated released this statement regarding the talks.
Kalaga Incorporated were asked to manage Taylor Relay, but the constant scope creep of what is expected from our organization has reduced our efficiency to conduct our contract. The workers of Yaks Balam Alliance are not native to this star system and can't seem to comprehend that you have to either choose between the safety of your workers or profit. You cannot have both. This basic corporate principle is universally accepted, and the sooner they come to terms with this, the quicker we can get back to business. But after last night's contract negotiations failure, I fear that only a hostile takeover war will resolve this idiotic argument.
We have on the line with us Adam Knight, the press officer for the workers of Yaks Balam Alliance. Mr. Knight, thank you for joining us today. Can I start by asking, are you asking too much from Kalaga Incorporated?
No, we own and operate a number of stations and outposts in several systems, and we have never had to make this ridiculous choice.
But Mr. Knight, this is your first military installation. All your others are refinery and extraction. Surely you must take the advice of your subject matter experts on this.
I don't see how this operation would be any different than our other operations. The simple matter here is that the leaders of Kalaga Incorporated are content with their fat paychecks and are happy for their workers to die for it.
Well, your other installations are mainly operated by robots and, well, you couldn't do that here. Weapon and ammo manufacturing is a very dangerous job, and the workers accept this when they take the job. Do you not agree that some fatalities are inevitable?
The workers we are talking about here are low-skilled workers, but because of the star system-wide lack of investment in their training have no choice but to work here. You know that stations like Britnev Hub and Klepeton Station are a very high-tech places of work that require a very high education level just to enter the workforce. What choice do they have but to work for us, and we must keep them safe.
Even if it impacts your profits?
One thing shouldn't depend on the other. That argument is the same one made by the Kalaga Incorporation to increase the pay of their upper management.
The people fear this will only end one way, so I ask you, Mr. Knight, are you willing to go to war over this?
We are not strangers to hostile takeovers. We will defend what is ours.
Thank you for your time today, Mr. Knight.
Thank you, Jim.
That is all from me and the team here at the Fatherhood News team. Remember, don't dream of the stars, fly amongst them. Stay safe, commanders, and good night.